And the perfect majesty is at rest in the ineffable light, in the truth of the mother of all these, and all of you that attain to me alone who am perfect, because of the word. For I exist with all the greatness of the Spirit, which is a friend to us and our kindred alike, since I brought forth the word to the glory of our Father, through his goodness, as well as an imperishable thought, that is, the word within him. It is slavery that we shall die with Christ, and an imperishable and undefiled thought, an incomprehensible marvel, the writing of the ineffable water which is the word from us. It is I who am in you, and you are in me, just as the Father is in you in innocence. Let us gather an assembly together. Let us visit that creation of his. Let us send someone forth in it, just as he visited, there, in Noah's, the regions below. And I said these things to the whole multitude of the multitudinous assembly of the rejoicing majesty. The whole house of the Father of truth rejoiced that I am the one who is from them. I produced thought about the Anoias which came out of the undefiled Spirit, about the descent upon the water, that is, the regions below. And they all had a single mind, since it is out of one. They charged me since I was willing. I came forth to reveal the glory to my kindred and my fellow spirits. For those who were in the world had been prepared by the will of our sister Sophia, she who is a whore, because of the innocence which has not been uttered. And she did not ask anything from the all, nor from the greatness of the assembly, nor from the pleroma. Since she was first, she came forth to prepare monads and places for the Son of Light and the fellow workers which she took from the elements below to build bodily dwellings from them. But, having come into being in an empty glory, they ended in destruction in the dwellings in which they were, since they were prepared by Sophia. They stand ready to receive the life-giving word of the ineffable monad and of the greatness of the assembly of all those who persevere and those who are in me. I visited a bodily dwelling. I cast out the one who was in it first, and I went in. And the whole multitude of the archons became troubled. And all the matter of the archons, as well as all the begotten powers of the earth, were shaken when it saw the likeness of the image, since it was mixed. And I am the one who was in it, not resembling him who was in it first. For he was an earthly man, but I am from above the heavens. I did not refuse them even to become a Christ, but I did not reveal myself to them in the love which was coming forth from me. I revealed that I am a stranger to the regions below. There was a great disturbance in the whole earthly area, with confusion and flight, as well as, in the plan of the archons. And some were persuaded, when they saw the wonders which were being accomplished by me. And all these, with the race, that came down, flee from him who had fled from the throne to the Sophia of hope, since she had earlier given the sign concerning us and all the ones with me, those of the race of Adoniaios. Others also fled, as if from the Cosmocrator and those with them, since they have brought every kind of punishment upon me. And there was a flight of their mind about what they would counsel concerning me, thinking that she, Sophia, is the whole greatness, and speaking false witness, moreover, against the man and the whole greatness of the assembly. It was not possible for them to know who the Father of truth, the man of the greatness, is. But they who received the name because of contact with ignorance, which is a burning and a vessel, having created it to destroy Adam, whom they had made, in order to cover up those who are theirs in the same way. But they, the archons, those of the place of Yaldabaoth, reveal the realm of the angels, which humanity was seeking in order that they may not know the man of truth. For Adam, whom they had formed, appeared to them. And a fearful motion came about throughout their entire dwelling, lest the angels surrounding them rebel. For without those who were offering praise, I did not really die lest their archangel become empty. And then a voice, of the Cosmocrator, came to the angels, I am God and there is no other beside me. But I laughed joyfully when I examined his empty glory. But he went on to say, Who is man? And the entire host of his angels, who had seen Adam and his dwelling, were laughing at his smallness. And thus did their Enoia come to be removed outside the majesty of the heavens, that is, the man of truth, whose name they saw since he is in a small dwelling place, since they are small, and senseless in their empty annoyer, namely their laughter. It was contagion for them. The whole greatness of the fatherhood of the Spirit was at rest in his places. And I am he who was with him, since I have an annoyer of a single emanation from the eternal ones and the undefiled and immeasurable incomprehensibilities. I placed the small annoyer in the world, having disturbed them and frightened the whole multitude of the angels and their ruler. And I was visiting them all with fire and flame because of my annoyer. And everything pertaining to them was brought about because of me. And there came about a disturbance and a fight around the seraphim and cherubim, since their glory will fade, and the confusion around Adonios on both sides and their dwelling, to the Cosmocrator and him who said, "Let us seize him." Others again, the plan will certainly not materialize. For Adonios knows me because of hope. And I was in the mouths of lions. And the plan which they devised about me to release their error and their senselessness, I did not succumb to them as they had planned. But I was not afflicted at all. Those who were there punished me. And I did not die in reality but in appearance, lest I be put to shame by them because these are my kinsfolk. I removed the shame from me and I did not become faint-hearted in the face of what happened to me at their hands. I was about to succumb to fear, and I suffered according to their sight and thought, in order that they may never find any word to speak about them. For my death, which they think happened, happened to them in their error and blindness, since they nailed their man unto their death. For their annoyers did not see me, for they were deaf and blind. But in doing these things, they condemned themselves. Yes, they saw me, they punished me. It was another, their father, who drank the gall and the vinegar, it was not I. They struck me with the reed, it was another, Simon, who bore the cross on his shoulder. I was another upon whom they placed the crown of thorns. But I was rejoicing in the height over all the wealth of the archons and the offspring of their error, of their empty glory. And I was laughing at their ignorance. And I subjected all their powers. For as I came downward, no one saw me. For I was altering my shapes, changing from form to form. And therefore, when I was at their gates, I assumed their likeness. For I passed them by quietly, and I was viewing the places, and I was not afraid nor ashamed, for I was undefiled. And I was speaking with them, mingling with them through those who are mine, and trampling on those who are harsh to them with zeal, and quenching the flame. And I was doing all these things because of my desire to accomplish what I desired by the will of the Father above. And the Son of the Majesty, who was hidden in the regions below, we brought to the height where I was in all these eons with them, which height no one has seen nor known, where the wedding of the wedding robe is, the new one and not the old, nor does it perish. For it is a new and perfect bridal chamber of the heavens, as I have revealed, that there are three ways, an undefiled mystery in a spirit of this eon, which does not perish, nor is it fragmentary, nor able to be spoken of, rather, it is undivided, universal, and permanent. For the soul, the one from the height, will not speak about the error which is here, nor transfer from these eons, since it will be transferred when it becomes free and when it is endowed with no ability in the world, standing before the Father without weariness and fear, always mixed with the new of power, and, of form. They will see me from every side without hatred. For since they see me, they are being seen, and are mixed with them. Since they did not put me to shame, they were not put to shame. Since they were not afraid before me, they will pass by every gate without fear and will be perfected in the third glory. It was my going to the revealed height which the world did not accept, my third baptism in a revealed image. When they had fled from the fire of the seven authorities, and the sun of the powers of the archons set, darkness took them. And the world became poor when he was restrained with a multitude of fetters. They nailed him to the tree, and they fixed him with 4 nails of brass. The veil of his temple he tore with his hands. It was a trembling which seized the chaos of the earth, for the souls which were in the sleep below were released. And they arose. They went about boldly, having shed zealous service of ignorance and unlearnedness beside the dead tombs, having put on the new man, since they have come to know that perfect blessed one of the eternal and incomprehensible Father and the infinite light, which is I, since I came to my own and united them with myself. There is no need for many words, for our annoyer was with their annoyer. Therefore they knew what I speak of, for we took counsel about the destruction of the Achans. And therefore I did the will of the Father, who is I. After we went forth from our home, and came down to this world, and came into being in the world in bodies, we were hated and persecuted, not only by those who are ignorant, but also by those who think that they are advancing the name of Christ, since they were unknowingly empty, not knowing who they are, like dumb animals. They persecuted those who have been liberated by me, since they hate them, those who, should they shut their mouth, would weep with a profitless groaning because they did not fully know me. Instead, they served two masters, even a multitude. But you will become victorious in everything, in war and battles, jealous division and wrath. But in the uprightness of our love we are innocent, pure, and good, since we have a mind of the Father in an ineffable mystery. For it was ludicrous. It is I who bear witness that it was ludicrous, since the Achans do not know that it is an ineffable union of undefiled truth, as exists among the sons of light, of which they made an imitation, having proclaimed a doctrine of a dead man and lies so as to resemble the freedom and purity of the perfect assembly, and, joining themselves with their doctrine to fear and slavery, worldly cares, and abandoned worship, being small, and, ignorant, since they do not contain the nobility of the truth, for they hate the one in whom they are, and love the one in whom they are not. For they did not know the knowledge of the greatness, that it is from above and, from, a fountain of truth, and that it is not from slavery and jealousy, fear and love of worldly matter. For that which is not theirs and that which is theirs they use fearlessly and freely. They do not desire, because they have authority, and a law from themselves over whatever they will wish. But those who have not are poor, that is, those who do not possess him. And they desire him and lead astray those, who through them have become like those who possess the truth of their freedom, just as they bought us for servitude and constraint of care and fear. This person is in slavery. And he who is brought by constraint of force and threat has been guarded by God. But the entire nobility of the fatherhood is not guarded, since he guards only him who is from him, without word and constraint, since he is united with his will, he who belongs only to the annoyer of the fatherhood, to make it perfect and ineffable through the living water, to be with you mutually in wisdom, not only in word of hearing but in deed and fulfilled word. For the perfect ones are worthy to be established in this way and to be united with me, in order that they may not share in any enmity, in a good friendship. I accomplish everything through the good one, for this is the union of the truth, that they should have no adversary. But everyone who brings division, and he will learn no wisdom at all because he brings division and is not a friend, is hostile to them all. But he who lives in harmony and friendship of brotherly love, naturally and not artificially, completely and not partially, this person is truly the desire of the Father. He is the universal one and perfect love. For Adam was a laughingstock, since he was made a counterfeit type of man by the Hebdomad, as if he had become stronger than I and my brothers. We are innocent with respect to him, since we have not sinned. And Abraham and Isaac and Jacob were a laughingstock, since they, the counterfeit fathers, were given a name by the Hebdomad, as if he had become stronger than I and my brothers. We are innocent with respect to him, since we have not sinned. David was a laughingstock in that his son was named the Son of Man, having been influenced by the Hebdomad, as if he had become stronger than I and the fellow members of my race. But we are innocent with respect to him, we have not sinned. Solomon was a laughingstock, since he thought that he was Christ, having become vain through the Hebdomad, as if he had become stronger than I and my brothers. But we are innocent with respect to him. I have not sinned. The 12 prophets were laughingstocks, since they have come forth as imitations of the true prophets. They came into being as counterfeits through the Hebdomad, as if he had become stronger than I and my brothers. But we are innocent with respect to him, since we have not sinned. Moses, a faithful servant, was a laughingstock, having been named the friend, since they perversely bore witness concerning him who never knew me. Neither he nor those before him, from Adam to Moses and John the Baptist, none of them knew me nor my brothers. For they had a doctrine of angels to observe dietary laws and bitter slavery, since they never knew truth, nor will they know it. For there is a great deception upon their soul, making it impossible for them ever to find a new of freedom in order to know him, until they come to know the Son of Man. Now concerning my Father, I am he whom the world did not know, and because of this, the world, rose up against me and my brothers. But we are innocent with respect to him, we have not sinned. For the Archon was a laughingstock because he said, I am God, and there is none greater than I. I alone am the Father, the Lord, and there is no other beside me. I am a jealous God, who brings the sins of the fathers upon the children for 3 and 4 generations. As if he had become stronger than I and my brothers. But we are innocent with respect to him, in that we have not sinned, since we mastered his teaching. Thus he was in an empty glory. And he does not agree with our Father. And thus through our fellowship we grasped his teaching, since he was vain in an empty glory. And he does not agree with our Father, for he was a laughingstock in judgment and false prophecy. O those who do not see, you do not see your blindness, that is, this which was not known, nor has it ever been known, nor has it been known all about him. They did not listen to firm obedience. Therefore they proceeded in a judgment of error, and they raised their defiled and murderous hands against him, as if they were beating the air. And the senseless and blind ones are always senseless, always being slaves of law and earthly fear. I am Christ, the Son of Man, the one from you who is among you. I am despised for your sake, in order that you yourselves may forget the difference. And do not become female, lest you give birth to evil and, its, brothers, jealousy and division, anger and wrath, fear and a divided heart, and empty, non-existent desire. But I am an ineffable mystery to you. Then before the foundation of the world, when the whole multitude of the assembly came together upon the places of the Ogdod, when they had taken counsel about a spiritual wedding which is in union, and thus he was perfected in the ineffable places by a living word, the undefiled wedding was consummated through the mesotes of Jesus, who inhabits them all and possesses them, who abides in an undivided love of power. And surrounding him, he appears to him as a monad of all these, a thought and a father, since he is one. And he stands by them all, since he as a whole came forth alone. And he is life, since he came from the Father of ineffable and perfect truth, the Father of those who are the union of peace and a friend of good things, and life eternal and undefiled joy, in a great harmony of life and faith, through eternal life of fatherhood and motherhood and sisterhood and rational wisdom. They had agreed with Nu, who stretches out, and will stretch out in joyful union and is trustworthy and faithfully listens to someone. And he is in fatherhood and motherhood and rational brotherhood and wisdom. And this is a wedding of truth, and a repose of incorruption, in a spirit of truth, in every mind, and a perfect light in an unnameable mystery. But this is not, nor will it happen among us in any region or place in division and breach of peace, but, in union and a mixture of love, all of which are perfected in the one who is. It also happened in the places under heaven for their reconciliation. Those who knew me in salvation and undividedness, and those who existed for the glory of the Father and the truth, having been separated, blended into the one through the living word. And I am in the spirit and the truth of the motherhood, just as he has been there. I was among those who are united in the friendship of friends forever, who neither know hostility at all, nor evil, but who are united by my knowledge in word and peace which exists in perfection with everyone and in them all. And those who assumed the form of my type will assume the form of my word. Indeed, these will come forth in light forever, and, in friendship with each other in the Spirit, since they have known in every respect, and, indivisibly that what is one. And all of these are one. And thus they will learn about the one, as did the assembly in those dwelling in it. For the Father of all these exists, being immeasurable, and immutable, new and word and division and envy and fire. And he is entirely one, being the all with them all in a single doctrine, because all these are from a single Spirit. O unseeing ones, why did you not know the mystery rightly? But the archons around Yaldabad were disobedient because of the Anoia who went down to him from her sister Sophia. They made for themselves a union with those who were with them in a mixture of a fiery cloud, which was their envy, and the rest who were brought forth by their creatures, as if they had bruised the noble pleasure of the assembly. And therefore they revealed a mixture of ignorance in a counterfeit of fire and earth and a murderer, since they are small and untaught, without knowledge having dared these things, and not having understood that light has fellowship with light, and darkness with darkness, and the corruptible with the perishable, and the imperishable with the incorruptible. Now these things I have presented to you. I am Jesus Christ, the Son of Man, who is exalted above the heavens, O perfect and incorruptible ones, because of the incorruptible and perfect mystery and the ineffable one. But they think that we decreed them before the foundation of the world, in order that, when we emerge from the places of the world, we may present the symbols of incorruption from the spiritual union unto knowledge. You do not know it, because the fleshly cloud overshadows you. But I alone am the friend of Sophia. I have been in the bosom of the Father from the beginning, in the place of the sons of the truth, and the greatness. Rest then with me, my fellow spirits and my brothers and sisters, forever.